And let's start. All right, this is the Sparrow Decks kata, which is something that we've done multiple times at FCA on our Friday afternoon learning exercises. And this is all about kind of machine learning for the mind to help you train you to rather rapidly spot bad code. So let me move to PowerPoint here. Sorry about that. All right. Okay, my name is James Simon. I'm a connected vehicle solutions architect, and people sometimes call me an amplifier at FCA. I find good ideas and I bring them to the crowd. There's just some basic contact information here. You can get me on Twitter, on Slack. I belong to an organization called Canton Coders. It's all about helping developers. You're welcome to come find me there. And then on Discord, I have my Discord information there. I do want to give credit where credit's due. So this was originated by someone named Llewellyn Falco, who's a big name in the development world, especially for code craftsmanship. And Llewellyn came up with this idea. Well, it was derived from a talk that he saw from somebody, and he created the Sparrow decks, and everybody just kind of downloads them from his blog. You can also find some of these code smells that we're going to talk about today in Martin Fowler's book about refactoring. And we were introduced to this by my favorite mentor and friend, Camille Bell, who's an Agile coach, and she's done this several times at FCA. A lot of this deck that you're going to see just now is actually derived from her work. So what is a code smell? Obviously, we're not talking about roses, right? So code smell is basically code that stinks, code that's bad. And it's really important for some reasons that we'll go into, that we should find that bad code and we should eliminate it or refactor it. And the reason is code smells or bad code cause technical debt. Every line of code costs money, and bad code costs more. Code that's left to rot slows down development, increases cost. It makes it more difficult to understand when you bring new people into the team. It makes it more difficult to evolve without causing new bugs. And what we're trying to get to is an intuitive knowledge, right? Rather than something analytical or something you think about, something that you have to consciously examine. We're looking to be able to spot code in a way that bypasses all of that with unconscious pattern recognition, right? Which is very, very similar to the way that things are done with machine learning. So this technique came from chicken sexing, which I had no idea, but is difficult and bordering on impossible on site. But it's important that it happens quickly, right? And Kathy Sierra's talk that she recorded goes into how this was done a long time ago in Japan around chicken sexing. Masters of chicken sexing and sort of poultry agriculture were experts in sexing chickens kind of on site. But they couldn't really train anyone to do it. There was no objective rules that you could point to be able to quickly identify the sex of a chicken. So when they started trying to scale up, they took apprentices and they made them pick up a chicken, declare what they thought the sex was, and then they immediately corrected them, right? And they started doing this rapidly over and over and over again until finally they were able to start spotting them on site. And they were able to scale up their production and their capability for sexing chickens. This lesson was later taken by our own allies in World War II for spotting planes. And they did the exact same thing. Plane spotters simply spent their time trying to spot planes over and over again in rapid succession until it became a sort of intuitive, almost precognitive ability where they would see a plane at a great distance for just a very short period of time and would be able to tell if it was an ally plane or an Axis plane. This is the website for Llewellyn Sparrow's Sparrow decks, Llewellyn Falco Sparrow decks, where you can download it. There's a wealth of information on here. He has a lot of great information on code craftsmanship, how to write proper code, right? And then, of course, there are the Sparrow decks themselves. You're encouraged after this to start doing it with your fellow students, your colleagues, your teams, because the more you do it, the better you are at spotting bad code. Perceptual learning is what we're about with the Sparrow Decks. You see a picture, you quickly guess what the pattern is, and this is super important. And this is why I'm going to ask you to, as many of you as you can summon the courage to put on your audio, because you need to quickly say your guess out loud. I'm not a cognitive scientist. I don't really understand how this works, but there is something apparently cementing about saying it out loud, right? So we encourage everyone to just shout out loud. If you're too shy, shout out loud with your speaker off. But I would prefer that I be able to hear you so I can get the feedback. And then just repeat it a lot. You don't have to stress about getting it right. This is a practice and it requires repetition. So the really sort of fun part of this is it's a little bit silly, kind of embarrassing. You're going to say this out loud. The speed is going to increase as we go, and you're going to get it wrong a lot, and it gets kind of hysterical. But just keep guessing. All right, so we're going to get into the Sparrow Decks here in just a second. And if everyone can request... okay, I got Rick here, and PD, and MJ, and MO. All right. Anybody else before we get started? Oh, there we go, CF. All right. So if that's it, then I will go ahead and move us to the Sparrow Decks. Slideshow, present from the beginning. Okay, so we'll go through this. We'll go through this particular one a couple times, right? So we can get the hang of it. This is a sparrow, and they come in two varieties: house and song. That was a house. That was a song. Okay, so when I go to the next slide, I want people to start guessing house or song, right? And it's gonna, in increasing speed, it's gonna start telling us. All right, go.
House.
House.
House. House. Song.
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 House.
House. Both. House. Okay.
Song.
Oh God. Song.
House.
Song. Oh. Okay. Song. That's a song. Song. House.
Song.
Song. Song.
Song.
House.
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 Song.
House. Oh, okay. All right. We're getting there.
Song.
Song.
House.
House.
Song.
House.
Song. House.
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 Song.
House.
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 Song.
Song.
House.
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 Song.
House.
Song.
Song.
House.
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 Song.
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 House.
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 House. Song. Song.
House.
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 Song.
House.
House.
Song.
Song.
I'm not sure.
Song.
Song.
House.
Song.
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 House.
Song.
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 House.
Song.
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 Song. House.
House. House.
House.
House.
House.
House.
Well, I see where this is going now. Definitely.
So how did you guys feel about that? How did that go for you?
I felt a little confused at
I
first.
definitely know the difference between a house and a song.
At first, I thought when the bird was squatting that it was automatically house, and then whenever you saw a close up of its face, it was automatically house as well. But and then when you saw the body, I at first thought it was song, but then it started being house, and then I noticed that we would come to a point where when you see house, you'd say house all the way up till song, and then we switch to song, and then say song all the way up until house.
So there's still like in that first round, there's always you're still trying to think about it, right? You're still trying to like intellectually gather the pattern, right? And so we're gonna do it one more time and see if you guys get better at it, right? So I want you to tell me what you notice about it the second time around, right? And
Just
how you
Okay.
feel about it.
I wanted to ask real quickly, we're supposed to be looking at patterns, right? Like that's how I'm able to classify these because of the patterns that each bird has. Is that like, was I supposed to do that?
That is fair, right? But it's almost like you just want to let your eyes take it in,
Oh,
right?
okay.
And then just observe, okay?
Okay.
So, all right, so we will get started now, right?
Song.
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 House. House. House.
House. House.
Song. Song. House.
Both.
House.
Song.
House.
Oh. Song.
House.
House.
House. Song. Song.
Song.
Song.
House.
Song.
Song.
Song. House.
House. Song.
Song.
House.
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 House. House.
House.
House.
Song.
Song.
House.
House. House.
Song.
Song.
House.
House.
House. House.
House. House.
Song.
House.
House. Song.
Song.
House.
House. House.
Song. House.
House.
Song. Song. Well,
House. House.
House.
House.
Song.
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 House.
Bird.
House.
Bird. House.
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 Song.
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 Song. Song.
Song.
House. House.
House.
House.
House.
House.
House.
House.
House.
House.
Song.
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 House.
House. House.
House. Song. Song.
Song.
Song.
Song. House. Song.
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 House.
Song.
Song.
House. House. Next
House.
song.
Oh,
Song.
song. Song.
Song. Song.
Song.
House.
Song.
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 Song. House.
House.
Song.
Song.
House. Song.
House.
House.
So what did we notice that time? Do you feel like you got any better?
If the bird has a clear pattern on its belly, that automatically means it's house. And if it has a checkered pattern, it's song.
If it has like a weird stripe that starts with an S, so I just associate that with song. So weird stripe S, song. The other one is just house.
There's also patterns on each of the respective bird's eyes. So like for example, the song has like a one singular stripe on its eye, like a bandana sort of situation, whereas the house has like their bandanas going vertically across their face. That's what I also noticed.
And do you feel like you did better the second time around?
Toward the end, at the start, I was horrible.
Yeah.
All right, let me just make sure that no one else is waiting to, yep, we got a couple more people that want to join in. So we're going to go next and look at some actual code.
Oh, I'm in.
Right? And take a look at some flaws and see if we can identify them in the same way, right, that we just identified the birds. So the first one that we're going to do is called paragraph, and you're just going to say paragraph or no, right?
Okay.
And the reason we're doing this particular code smell is, one, it's a little bit easier than the rest of them that I have, but two, code should be readable, right? Just like any other logical set of statements, like a book, newspaper article, an essay, you should be able to read your code. So if the code is well formed, then it's going to have sort of paragraph formatting, right? That makes it easy to look at chunks of function that you've written. And so we're looking for whether it's a paragraph or no, right? So that's what you'll say. You guys can see my screen?
Yep.
Right here? Okay. So this one is our first one, and you'll notice this right here is going to be a paragraph, right?
Oh, it's a paragraph? Okay.
Yep. Some of this can get, honestly, can get a little bit like confusing. And the one really important thing is if you are on a team and you're doing these code smells, you're doing code reviews, you should agree what amounts to a paragraph and what doesn't. Some of it's a little bit subjective.
Okay.
And what do we think here?
Paragraph?
No, I don't think it's a paragraph.
Oh.
So if we look at this section right here, this is not qualified as a paragraph, right? So that's a no. Okay, so now we're going to start just running through it. Again, it increases in speed over time. Let's see how well you can do.
Oh, so this is yes or no?
Yep. Paragraph or no?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Paragraph.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
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 Oh, no. Yes, I believe, right?
I don't
Yes?
see one. Where is it? Where is it?
Where is it?
I feel like that's a little too big.
Yes.
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 What constitutes a paragraph of qualifying?
Yes.
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 Yeah. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. No.
Yes. Oh
No.
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 Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. I can see that. No.
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 Yes. Oh.
Yes.
No.
No. Oh, okay.
Yes.
No.
No. Come on.
No.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Oh. Nice.
Yes.
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 Yes. No.
Yes.
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 No.
No.
Yes.
No.
Oh.
No.
Yes.
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 No.
No.
Yes.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
No.
I don't see
Yes.
it. Yes.
No. Yes.
No.
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 Yes.
No.
Yes.
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 No.
Yes.
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 And that one too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. No.
No. No.
No.
Why am I yelling? No.
Yeah. No.
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 No. Yes.
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 No.
Yes.
No.
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 Yeah. No.
I feel like
No.
these are to
Yes.
trick you.
Yes. That's a
No.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
No. No.
Yes.
That's
No.
yes. That's yes. That's yes.
Yes.
No. 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 No.
I don't
Yes.
know.
What are we looking for?
So what did you guys notice about that?
Well, if
This
it's
was definitely much more harder to go through. Very subjective.
yeah,
It
And
it
more-
can be in a way quite subjective.
if there are brackets at the end, I usually said yes, according to where the start of the rectangle or square was.
Right, that's quite right. So a paragraph, right, will have a logical start and a logical end, right?
Yeah.
And it will have an opening and a closing, and that's the most basic definition, right? And you can follow that with your teams. But again, there are some of those. There's other code smells in them, so that's part of the problem. There might be a lot of clutter, right? It might be an overly long method. But if you talk to your team, you can agree, right, on what qualifies as a paragraph and what doesn't. Right. So what time is it? We still got plenty of time. So I'm going to go through it one more time, and we'll move on to the next one.
Mhm.
So again,
Get ready.
we have here
Yes.
a
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No. It's a no or yes.
Yes.
Oh yeah, that's
Yes?
definitely a no.
Oh. Oh yeah, that's a no.
That's a
No.
yes.
Oh what?
The content man.
Yes.
Yes. You know, small content is just oh.
Yes.
Yes. That's a yes. That had to be a yes. Yes. Yeah.
Yes. I see the 4, and then yeah. Yes.
No. Okay, you got that one. Yes. Oh, it's no. It's no.
No.
Right now, you got the red lines.
Jesus.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And yes.
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 Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh.
What?
No. No.
Yes, that'd be. Wait, that's a yes or no?
Yeah, it is, because there's an if starts. Yeah. Yeah, no.
No. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. The algorithm is doing its own thing. Look at the algorithm. No.
No. Yes. Yes. No. Yes.
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 No.
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 No. This is very simple.
Yes. No.
No.
No. No. Jesus. Oh, what?
Yes. Yes. That's
Yes.
what Lloyd.
Oh my God. Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Yes.
No. Yes.
Yes. Yes. That's yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Yes. No. Yes.
No.
I say it's a yes. No. My God.
That were a lot of.
That was
What
a
do you
lot.
guys think of that?
It was pretty confusing. However, it's very subjective. I thought
Yeah,
I thought objective, but it's not subjective. But it's actually subjective.
Yeah, as you keep going through it, you start to get better and better, right?
Yeah.
And that's the thing, is that it just takes a lot of repetition to really get good at it.
Yeah.
And we'll do if we have time, so we'll move on to a different one. At the end of this, I want to take some time to talk to you guys about, okay, well, what is all this for, and what do you do if you see it? So let's try. This one is fairly easy, right? And it's about clutter.
Excuse me, James. I wanted to ask real quickly, actually.
Sure.
In regarding these, correct? So when we're doing this, is it like, are we supposed to be reading through the code, or is it we're just supposed to be seeing visual cues to guide us as to what we're supposed to be doing?
It is really a lot more about visual cues, right?
Okay.
So if you go back to the original problem of sexing chickens, right?
Yes.
There was no way to say, there was nothing to point to on a baby chick to say, look, if you see this thing, then it's clearly a male, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it was really about getting down to the level of intuition and pattern recognition, right? Which is not analytical. It slips past that, right?
Mm-hmm.
Into simply being able to spot it on site. And we'll get into sort of the point of this at the end about what to do, right? And what the purpose is of being able to spot it.
Okay, thank you. Because I'm looking more for brackets. That's what I'm trying to guide myself by. If there's like a bracket, or if there's some kind of loop, or like try bracket something, then that's how I'm going myself around. But see, sometimes that also doesn't qualify as a paragraph. So
right,
it's like,
it may fail you. It may fail
exactly.
you. And the thing is, we are trained quite rightly to be very analytical, right? As engineers or developers. So your analytical mind wants to find something to hang its hat on, right? It wants to think about it, right? But the more you try to do that, the more you get into how subjective it is, and the more it'll fail you, right? And the reason that bypassing that is okay will come up at the end. We'll talk about it. So let's talk about clutter, right? Cluttered code, I think we can all agree, is unreadable code. And every developer I've ever known, including myself and everyone that I work with, has started off committing this sin and continues to. Right? So it's really, really good to be able to spot it quickly and try to get rid of it during code reviews. All right. So what we're looking for here is code that is relevant versus code that is cluttered, right? That has clutter in it, right? Or things that are not relevant to the actual function. So this is, what do you guys think? Relevant?
No.
It is actually. All
Oh,
of that stuff
well.
does something, so it's relevant, right? What about this? Is that relevant or
no,
cluttered?
that's not relevant. Yeah,
That looks colored.
That
yeah,
is, in fact, clutter, right?
yeah.
All right, so here you go.
Good.
Relevant,
Relevant. Irrelevant.
colored, and cluttered.
Cluttered.
Clutter. Relevant.
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 Cluttered. Oh, okay.
Clutter.
Cluttered.
Cluttered.
Relevant.
Relevant.
Oh. Variables are just.
Relevant.
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 Relevant. Clutter.
Cluttered. Cluttered.
Relevant.
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 Cluttered.
Clutter. Clutter.
Cluttered.
Relevant.
Cluttered. Lord knows that's cluttered.
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 Relevant. Oh, clutter. Yeah, clutter. Clutter.
Cluttered?
Cluttered.
Yes. Clutter.
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 I just realized a lot of these cluttered have several summary statements, so that'll help you out.
Clutter.
Comments.
Yeah, comments.
Cluttered.
Clutter.
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 Relevant. Really.
Relevant.
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 Relevant. Relevant.
Relevant.
It is quite small. Relevant.
Relevant. When this starts getting faster, then we'll see.
Relevant.
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 Clutter.
Clutter.
Clutter. Clutter. Wait.
Relevant.
Clutter.
Clutter.
Cluttered.
Clutter.
Relevant.
Relevant.
Clutter.
Clutter. Yeah, because that's empty. Why do you need that? Whoa, Jesus. Clutter.
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 Relevant.
Relevant. Oh, wow.
Clutter.
Okay.
Relevant.
Oh, relevant.
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 I told you guys, when this gets
Clutter.
fast, clutter.
Relevant.
Clutter.
Snapple.
Cluttered.
Okay.
Cluttered.
Clutter. Relevant.
Relevant.
Clutter.
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 Cluttered.
Clutter.
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 What?
Clutter.
Relevant.
Clutter.
Clutter.
Oh, that.
All right, what did you guys notice about that one that's maybe a little bit different than the others?
There are some lines that do have relevant comments to them, and those are the ones that we call relevant. So, for example, there was one example in which it was a Boolean variable, and the comment on top spoke of that Boolean variable. Now, in regards to the context of the whole code, maybe that's something that's relevant for it. That's why we called it relevant. So, in some sense, you do need to know the context of the code around it. But for some other things that were completely commented out, you didn't need at all. So that's what I noticed.
Sure. So one of the rules is right there. This one actually has kind of less subjective rules to it. Like if you have a lot of comments in your code, it's a sign that maybe you haven't written the most simple and clear code, right? That you maybe also have other code smells in it, right? So if you feel the need to write a lot of comments in order for someone to understand your code, then there's probably something wrong and it probably needs some refactoring. But then the other rule, right, is that when you do refactor, if you are leaving in a bunch of commented out code, then you're not trusting your source control system, right? And you should probably be doing that, because ultimately it winds up being very cluttered. Some things can go wrong. It can accidentally get uncommented. You can wind up deploying that, cause an outage or a bug. So it's really a lot better to just delete code rather than comment it out once you're ready to check in, at least. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
All right. Let's try it one more time. See how it goes. Yeah, we have time.
Relevant.
Mic was off.
Cluttered.
Cluttered.
Relevant.
Clutter.
Cluttered.
Relevant.
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 Clutter.
Cluttered. Relevant.
Relevant.
Relevant. I think it's
I'm back.
This change of speed.
Back, sorry.
Relevant.
Relevant.
Oh, relevant, yeah.
Relevant.
Relevant. Relevant.
Relevant.
Relevant. Cluttered.
Cluttered. Relevant.
Relevant. Oh, a new directory. Clutter.
Cluttered.
Relevant.
Cluttered.
Cluttered. Relevant.
Cluttered.
Oh yeah, clutter. Clutter. Clutter.
Clutter. Clutter.
Clutter. Clutter.
clutter.
Relevant.
Relevant.
Clutter.
Clutter.
Clutter. Relevant.
Relevant. Clutter.
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 Relevant. Relevant.
Relevant.
Relevant.
Relevant.
Relevant.
Relevant.
Clutter.
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 Relevant.
Relevant.
Relevant. Relevant.
Relevant.
Clutter.
Clutter.
Relevant.
Clutter. I
Relevant.
mean relevant. Relevant.
Clutter.
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 Clutter. Clutter.
Relevant. Clutter. Oh. Yeah. Clutter.
Clutter.
Clutter. Clutter.
Clutter.
Relevant.
Relevant.
Clutter.
Clutter. Clutter.
I feel like that's cluttered.
Relevant.
Relevant. Clutter.
Clutter. Relevant.
Relevant. Clutter.
Relevant. Oh. Clutter.
Clutter. Relevant.
Clutter.
Clutter.
Relevant. Clutter.
Relevant. Clutter.
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 Relevant.
Oh. Relevant.
Clutter.
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 Relevant.
Clutter.
Clutter.
Oh. Clutter.
Clutter.
Clutter. Relevant.
Clutter.
Oh, Jesus.
Clutter.
Clutter.
Clutter. Clutter.
Clutter.
Clutter.
Clutter.
Clutter.
Clutter.
Relevant. Oh.
Clutter.
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 Clutter. Relevant. Oh.
Clutter.
Jesus.
Clutter.
Clutter.
Relevant. Clutter.
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 There's a whole lot of clutter there in the end.
How do you guys feel that time?
Was that the same as the previous one?
It was.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, those answers sounded very different from the first one.
Yeah,
and
I don't know
second.
why, but for some reason it felt different the second time around.
Yeah, it seems like the ones towards the end were more clutter, but they were repeating themselves. It was just at different spots of the code. So it was like the same thing over and over.
Yeah, there's a lot of clutters at the end of it.
It's easy
Right.
to get tripped up on your own words, like almost as if your mind thinks faster than your mouth.
Yeah, because you can literally, like one of those times I was trying to say relevant, I said, but inside my head, I was trying to say relevant, but I said cluttered.
Yeah, I felt the same. and I had to like work myself to say the right word.
It was like you had to like pause for a second and then
Yeah.
go.
Right. I had one more, but I think space where we need to pause and actually discuss. Okay, so just a quick question for you guys. Do you do pairing at all or code reviews within teams that you work on for your projects?
No.
Not that we review code, it's more so we trust the person, and we, as long as we're able to read it and go through it, we're fine. It's not like we have a session to sit down and really discuss this. However, I do want to bring that up to them now after the session.
Well, one of the ways that teams handle things in the corporate world, especially if you get into like Agile and DevOps, is with pull requests. So a teammate of mine might write some code, submit a pull request, and before we merge to the master branch, we're going to do a code review. We want to move quickly, right? So you're going to get the pull request. GitHub will show you, if you're using GitHub, what was changed, and you want to be able to quickly spot where there might be problems, right? So that you know, basically to hone in onto that area and ask questions. So what do you think we should do if we see some of these?
We can just immediately name it as clutter and go right into discussing how can we clean it up as a team, come to an agreement as to what we can do.
Yeah, absolutely. So it should be a team agreement, right? Do we refactor right now before we merge if it's working? Or is that something that can go onto the backlog to be done in the next sprint or the next cycle of work, right? So a lot of that stuff comes down to team agreements. It is better personally if you see it in your own code and you have the ability and the time to go ahead and refactor it, right? Because it's going to cause you pain further down the road, especially things like clutter, the paragraphs. We didn't get into bad names, but bad names is another one that's kind of a big, and maybe if we have time after this discussion, we'll run it. You know, when you name a quantity as integer, right? and that's a very general term. I don't mean like typing it as integer, but there's literally, you can find where people have named an integer as integer, right? It's pretty generic. It doesn't say anything about what it's for. It doesn't function well. So there are other code smell you can get from Llewellyn Falco. There's the bad names, long lines, long methods, duplication, which is another really big one, and inconsistency, unit tests, and property-based tests. So you can download all of those. The timing is not in them. When you download them, you have to do that yourself. So the timing is entirely my fault. One thing is I'm noticing in the comments, I'm about 2 slides behind you guys, I noticed. So I don't know if that's happening for anybody else, but it made it a little bit challenging for me to follow what you guys were doing and how often you were right. Somebody's asking for the link to Llewellyn's website. I will go ahead and put it in the chat. And then also, if anybody wants to reach out to me at my FCA email address, I can make what we have done here today available. So before we go on to the bad names, does anybody have any other questions or comments? No? All right, let's try bad names then. Did I open it? Yeah, here we go. All right. Yeah. Okay. All right. So what we're going to say here is either these are good names or bad names, right?
I think this is
So
good.
what do you guys think on this?
Good. Yeah. Oh, bad.
Bad.
Yep.
Good. Oh, wait, no, bad. Yeah. Good.
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 Bad. Good. Good.
Oh, okay.
I don't know.
Right.
Oh, bad.
Bad.
Good.
Good.
Bad.
Good.
Bad.
Bad.
Oh, bad.
Good.
Good.
Bad.
Good. These colors are
Good.
bad.
Bad.
Bad. Bad.
Bad.
Good. Great.
Bad. Bad.
Good.
Bad. No good. Bad.
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 Where's the
What?
name in that one?
Yeah. What? Good.
Good.
Bad.
Good.
Bad.
Good.
Good.
Bad.
Bad.
Good.
Okay. Good. Yeah.
Good. I mean
Bad.
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 Bad. Good.
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 Bad.
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 Bad. Bad.
Bad.
Good.
Good.
Are these names showing up?
Bad.
Bad.
Good.
Bad.
Good.
Bad.
Bad.
Good.
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 Bad.
Good.
Bad.
Oh my God.
Bad.
Good.
Good.
Bad.
Bad.
Good.
Good.
Bad.
Good.
Good.
I don't see a name.
Oh yeah. No. Bad. Bad. Yeah. It doesn't have a name.
Good.
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 I don't. Good.
It's a comment.
Bad.
Good.
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 Bad.
Bad.
Good.
Good.
Oh my God. Bad.
Bad. Bad.
Good.
Good.
Good. Bad.
Bad. Bad.
Bad.
All right, what'd you guys think there?
That wasn't as painful as the cluttered versus uncluttered one.
Yeah, but also the speed wasn't nearly as fast either. I feel like the
Yeah, I
speed
did.
for that one.
I did keep this one a little bit slower. So,
Yeah.
so the thing with bad names, right, is one of the things your mind should sort of the pattern you should be looking for is consonants without vowels, right? So we have a tendency, and you can find, by the way, a bunch of this in my own code to try to abbreviate things so that the name is shorter, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you do that, it can get lost as to what that means, especially if somebody is just newly onboarding to the code, right? They may not know what that 3-letter abbreviation stands for. And then if you see the type in the name of the method or the object, that's probably also another hint that this is not a well-named attribute, right? It's very common to do, and it's as confusing for people that are looking at the code, and sometimes even if it's been a long time for ourselves, right? As it is common to do. So,
Oh, you mean like
right,
when
let's
you're
go.
writing?
Yeah, when you're writing your code, right? It's very common to and an easy thing to do to decide to abbreviate something, especially if it's a longer word, right?
Oh yeah.
Like ship, you might call it SHP. Well, 5 years from now, when you or somebody else goes back and has to evolve that code, or even 6 months, you may, what is ship? What does that mean? You might not know, right? So it's a lot better to go ahead and spell things out. It does run into conflict sometimes with another code smell, which is if your method names are too long. But again, team agreements, right? You can decide, which one of those is more correct. And generally, it's going to be the naming, because the naming helps you describe and understand what the function's doing. All right, let's go one more time.
Good.
Good.
Good. Good. Bad. Bad. Good.
Bad.
Bad.
Bad. Wait, oh, there it is. Yeah.
Good.
Good.
Bad.
Good. Wait,
Bad.
bad. Good.
Good. Good.
Good.
Good.
Good.
Bad. Actually,
That looks all right.
good.
Good.
Oh,
Bad. Okay.
good.
Bad.
Bad. Bad.
Bad. Wait,
Good.
is that good? I don't
Bad.
see the name. Certain ones I don't actually see the name. Like this one right here.
Bad.
Good.
Good. Bad.
Bad.
Good.
Good.
Bad. Good.
Good.
Good. Bad.
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 Good. Good. Bad.
Bad.
Good. No, bad.
Good.
Okay, well. Good. Bad. Bad.
Bad. Bad.
Bad.
Bad.
Good.
I'm gonna say bad. Excuse
Good.
me.
Good.
Good.
Good. Good. Bad. Bad.
Bad.
Good. Bad. Good. 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 Bad.
Bad.
Bad. Oh. Bad. Good. Oh. Bad. Oh, okay.
Good.
Good. Bad. Good.
Good. Bad.
Bad. Good. Okay. Good.
Good.
Good. Oh, I mean, sorry, bad. Bad.
So how was that? Did it seem slower this time? Easier? Do you feel like you did better at your guessing?
Yeah, I feel a bit better. There were some that I messed up, but compared to the first time, it was definitely easier. I think I'm starting to get used to the concept of just letting, like, not thinking about it and just going for it.
Honestly, I think I thought about it more because we had more time.
I see.
'Cause earlier, I felt like I was doing a lot better, but that last time, I don't think I did as well.
So does anybody think that they might try this with their teams or their friends or their other students?
It's like another version of I Spy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It definitely is yeah. I agree with Michael.
Right. I would encourage you then to look at the Code Smells for Martin Fowler and consider getting the book Refactor. It's pretty important in the world of code craftsmanship. That particular book, it talks about when it's safe to refactor, how to refactor, why to refactor, right? And that includes all of the different code smells. There's another great book called Clean Code, which is also very useful. And of course, just digging through Llewellyn Falco's whole blog there is a really wonderful experience. Also, feel free to contact me through Canton Coders or at FCA. I can provide any of the things that we've gone over today, any of the artifacts. And my friend Camille Bell is very, very friendly, easy person to talk to. She's out of DC, but is always hanging around online somewhere, usually in Canton Coders. She comes many Fridays and talks to us about things like test-driven development and behavior-driven development and code smells. So I think we've got just about 4 minutes left. Does anybody have any other questions or comments or ideas? Let me see if there's anything in the chat.
You think you can do this with the Chihuahuas and the muffins?
Was that question for me?
It's just my dog's barking in the background, so I keep turning my mic off.
I heard something about Chihuahuas. If we can do it with them.
The Chihuahuas and the blueberry muffins. There's there's pictures where computers have a hard time differentiating between Chihuahua and a blueberry muffin.
Oh, I was not aware of that. But that would be, if there is something like that, that would be great. If you could get various pictures of Chihuahuas and muffins, you could do something exactly like Llewellyn Falco did with the sparrows.
Yeah.
Right. In any sort of set of pattern recognition, you could adapt a kata for this. Right. The sparrows is out there, and why do something new if something out there works? So most of us just go and grab the sparrows from Llewellyn Falco. But it would be cool to do an alternative with Chihuahuas and muffins, or any sort of pattern recognition thing that you want. You could do it in the traditional way, and go dig up pictures of like Allied and Axis planes, right? And you could do this. You could adapt the same thing. Whatever would be, it's probably whatever can be the most engaging for the group that you want to do it with, right? And there is some advice and information out there on teaching this. And running people through the kata that's also on Llewellyn's site and available from Camille Bell, who does it quite frequently with the teams that she works with.
Earlier that this is essentially machine learning, but with our minds instead. So what we're doing is same thing as we would with an algorithm, applying multiple data sets in order to train the program to recognize certain things. That's the same thing we're doing with ourselves, right?
Exactly. And the more you repeat that data set, the more firmly it plants in the mind. So it's kind of recommended that this would be, maybe not weekly, but a pretty frequent thing that you would do with your teams, right? I think we'll probably wind up doing it at least quarterly from FCA IT in general. And then we do encourage the other teams to take the artifacts and take them back to their teams and do it together. And you can, there's no reason not to make it a fun thing, right? You can have, if you have like a team happy hour, part of the team happy hour can be running through either the Sparrow deck itself or one of the code smells, right?
Yeah, I see. Okay, perfect. I believe that is it for me today. Thank you so much once again, James. I really do appreciate your time and your efforts here today. Thank you for sharing this with us. This is this is great. I didn't know about this, and I'm very excited to apply it to my team. So thank you so much once again.
All right, awesome. Thanks, you guys.
James.
Have a wonderful weekend.
You too. Have a wonderful weekend.
Okay.
Stay safe, everybody.
You too.
Bye, everybody.
Okay, man.